hope everything is going. Y'all let me know if you can hear me. Which I don't think anyone's in here yet. But when you play this back, it's going to look so weird because I'm just sitting here. Let's see. Looking up here. Congratulations, Kathy R, on coming back to the sheep barn. Hi, there y'all are. So like for the first minute of this, y'all are just going to hear me rambling about if you can hear me or not. Good morning. Good morning. I look really short. This chair and this table don't match. I wish I could be like that, but I look like a 2-year-old sitting at the adult table. Can y'all hear me? Is it working? I hope the chat will stay up on here. Hello, everybody. You can hear me? Yay! Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Good morning. So, typically, if you're new here, we do on Mondays and Fridays, coming through loud and clear. I turned my heater off so it wouldn't be too loud. Smell-o-vision activated. Thankfully not. I was going to set in the floor so it didn't look so uneven, but that's not a good idea. The floor is so messy. Good morning, everybody. It smells really fresh. Farm fresh in here. Your first time here, Tracy? Oh, yay. So, on Mondays and Fridays, we do a prayer time. And typically I do it out in the barn on the main live stream, but it's cold. So I thought I would bring it in here, like a weenie. But if that's, I realize that not everybody believes like me, and that's okay. That's okay. I just want to give you a heads up in case you don't want to be here. But whether you believe like me or you don't, I would still very much love to have you here and super happy that you're here. Now my comments have stopped. I don't know why it does that when I go live. I can set up my other phone and maybe look at them. Let me turn it down. But yeah, we just have a prayer time. It's typically at 12:30, but today we're doing it early because I need to go sit with my mother-in-law who broke her hip and she's at home. I can't find my own live stream. Anybody else have that problem? Give me just a minute. There it is. Oh, Shelby Rose, thank you. Okay, there we go. Yay! Okay, well, I'm very thankful for anyone who is here. I heard something really cool. Like I always say, a lot of times, like if you go through a time of being depressed and you look at the world, everything looks so bad. Like everything looks bad. And I always say it's like wearing glasses that you can't get off and you see everything through that lens. But I heard someone say it differently. He said, I was looking out a window. I don't know if he really was or not. I was looking out a window and I said, man, it's foggy outside. And someone else said, it's not foggy outside. And he said, yeah, it is. He said, no, your window's just foggy. And isn't that the truth? A lot of times it's not really foggy out there. It's just what we're looking through is clouded up. And I think that's important to remember because sometimes things can feel really hopeless. But if you can just grasp on to the fact that it's the way we're seeing it right now, it's not really the way it is. It's just looking through a foggy window, and it doesn't last forever. Excuse me, just a minute. But I was feeling pretty stressed this morning, trying to figure out how to do everything. So much to do. And the thing is, I can't do everything. I can't do everything at all. And I kind of reached my breaking point and I started crying. And I was like, you know, I'm already so behind, like so behind. I'm just gonna stop and pray. And I did. And I was like, God, just take it. Just take it. Not necessarily my overwhelmedness, but take all of these responsibilities. And I didn't mean do them for me. I just meant I'm putting it in your hands. I'm going to do my very best, but I'm trusting you to make it work out. I'm not going to freak out and worry over it. I'm just giving it to you. And man, I instantly felt so much peace. So much peace. And that's how it is. You just put it in God's hands, and then you do your best and you trust that He's going to make it all work. And maybe not the way that we originally thought that it all should work out, but so much better. So sorry, just a minute. I'm in the middle of prayer time. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll be up there as soon as I can. Love you. Bye-bye. Sorry about that. But it's not for me a lot of times to be able to do that. And I should do it all the time with everything, big or small. But a lot of times it takes me reaching a place where I know I can't. And that's where I turn it over to. So if you find yourself struggling, or if you reach rock bottom, although I hope you don't wait till that, He's still there, even if He's your last choice. God's still there. He's just waiting on you to say, take it. Help me. I can't do it. Because the truth is, we can't do anything without Him. Everything that we do is because He gives us the strength and the ability and the talent and the gifts. But when we forget that that's where it comes from, or that's who we lean on, that's when we get ourselves into trouble. That's when we start feeling lost and overwhelmed. The same guy who said that about the foggy windows, he said that his sons, it was Stephen Furtick, he's a preacher, but he said that his sons wrestle, and they were at a wrestling match, and he said a lot of people there don't understand how wrestling works, and I understand it a little, but not a whole lot. Tucker did it for 1 year. But he said someone asked his wife, why do you like wrestling? And we're talking about like the sport, like high school. And she said, because you can go the whole round and not score any points and look like you're losing, and the other person have all the points. You can be almost down to the buzzer, and then you get that one pin. All you got to do is touch, have that moment where you touch both their shoulders to the ground. And then all the points that you didn't score, everything that you did wrong through that whole match doesn't matter. Because in that one moment, you can still win. And he said, all the math before cancels it out. Because all you have to do is pin them to win. And we can go through life or our day or our week and think that nothing's working out. There's no way it can work out. But God can come in with that pin right before the buzzer. And I think that's important to remember. He can cancel out all that we messed up on, all that went wrong. He's not surprised by any of it. He's already there in the future with it planned out. He's already made a way. But just gotta hang in there. Hang in there. And I know life gets overwhelming. Just the little things, let alone the big ones. But God's not overwhelmed. And He's not surprised. And He's always happy to see you. It doesn't matter how long it's been. He loves you. That's just like me and Waverly. And she doesn't want much at all to do with me, never has. I don't get mad at her. I just miss her. I just want her to come and take some grain from me. I want her to need me. I'm just so happy when she acts like she needs me, when she wants me. How much better is God? So even if it's been never that you've talked to Him, He's not mad. He just wants to hear from you. Even if it's asking Him for help, He wants you to ask. Okay, it's hard being so resilient. I don't like being resilient. I quit a lot of things. I do. A lot of times I have to quit everything. I'll burn supper and I'll say, I'm quitting. I'm quitting. I'm done. I'm not cooking again. And I mean it. I'm done. And everybody's like, oh, you'll be back. I'm like, no, I quit. And then I come back days later. It's not about getting knocked down. I know that's oversaid. It's not. Everybody gets knocked down. It's about getting back up. Even if you've been down for years, you are still resilient if you're still here. And you're going to get back up. Because God hasn't left you on this earth to stay knocked down. You're going to get back up. I'm so glad you're here, Tracy. I'm glad all of you are here. Now, I have the Bible verse on my arm. The reason I got it is because I want, it's, God is within her. She will not fall. And it doesn't mean that I will not fall. I fall all the time, literally and metaphorically. And the King James Version, it said, God dwells within the city. She will not be destroyed. You're going to fall. You're going to get attacked. But you're not going to be destroyed. And I know, and there's so many times I tell Kevin, I'm very dramatic. I'm like, I'm destroyed. It's all destroyed. There's nothing left. But there is. There is. And what we think is being torn down and just beat to death by life, being exhausted. You know, I used to get so mad at that Kelly Clarkson song, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." I'm like, no, it doesn't. No. Like, it's doing everything but killing me. It's not making me stronger. Not in that moment, because if you're working out in a gym and you are just going hard at that moment, you don't feel strong. You feel jello-legged. You feel like a limp noodle. But then what happens? You get stronger, and you come back and you're stronger, and you can do more. But what do you do when you go back to the gym? You do it again. You push harder. And so sometimes in life we think, well, you know, I got through that. Now I'm just being attacked again. But you're getting stronger every time. You're able to handle more every time. And you know, sometimes after you go through that, after you go to the gym, you go and you rest. You rest. And but see, with the gym, we know what to expect. We know this is going to happen. We plan it. But with life, we don't. It takes us by surprise, but it doesn't take God by surprise. And He cares more about making us stronger and better able to handle what's ahead. To be more patient, to be more kind, to be more understanding, to not be took down and knocked down as much by life, but to be able to conquer it, to be able to learn through that we trust Him. It builds our faith, and it just makes everything the way it should be. So when we're being knocked down, no, it doesn't feel like it's making us stronger. But one day you'll look back and you'll see all the good things that the hard times put into you. You never quit learning. You never quit building, growing. But when you look back, that's when you see the growth. Just like if anyone was here for Cricket and Acorn, and we would weigh them every day because they struggled so badly. And you know, one day they would gain 3 ounces, and then they would gain 6 ounces, and then they would lose 5. Like, they would just lose. And on that day that they would lose, that felt so defeating. Like, what's wrong? Why are we going back? But I kept that notepad, and you know, it kept their weights. And when you looked back at it, you know, after like 2 weeks, you see that even though there were days, multiple days where you backstepped, there was growth. There was growth. That's what it's about. This is the best community. First babies you saw being born. It was a special birth. The past is our stepping stones. Also, I know I look back and I see things that I prayed so hard for, and I'm just so thankful that God answered my prayers differently than I prayed. We don't always know what's best, but God does, and He loves us enough to give us what we need. Okay, we'll go ahead and we're going to pray. If you missed the first part, if you don't want to be here for this, it's okay. You can go back to the other stream or turn it down, or I'd love for you to stay. But God, thank you so much for this day, for this opportunity to come here together and talk to you, and not just by ourselves, but together. Thank you so much for my friends, for their willingness to be here, for their love, for their precious hearts. God, I'm so thankful for each and every one of them. God, thank you for Jesus. Thank you for sending Him to die to save us. And God, while I like being on that other app, I'm not allowed to talk about you there. And I'm so thankful for the freedom that we have in our country to be able to choose to pray or not to, God, that we have the freedom to come here together on a live stream from across the world and talk to you and learn about you. I thank you so much for that, and I ask that you never let a single one of us take that for granted. And God, thank you for our country. Even with all her faults, I thank you so much for our beautiful country. And God, I just ask for your healing in my friends, whether it's their bodies, their hearts, their minds. God, that you would just touch them and heal them, that they would feel relief from their pain, that their sickness would leave, God, that their minds would be calm and peaceful, that their hearts would be full of joy and love, that when they look out into this world and they see others, that they see them the way you would look at them, as precious, as having a purpose, as another one of your children. I pray that when they look at themselves, that they would see what a beautiful creation they are, that you've put so much wonderful, wonderful things into them, that they would realize they have such a big purpose in this life, that they have the ability to change the world, that they have the ability to change someone else just with their love. Help us to remember how important our words are, how much power is in the words we speak. Good or bad, help us to be cautious of what we say and to speak with love to everyone. And I thank you for all the healing that you've brought to so many of my friends and their family members, to our animals. God, I thank you so much for being a God of miracles, for being a God of showing up at the last minute, but never too late. Thank you for having a plan for us. And I just ask that you would help us to believe that you do, to have the faith to know that you love us enough to already be ahead of us. God, that we would never be afraid to come to you, never be ashamed. Help us to remember that you're always there waiting, not with anger, but with open arms. God, I just ask that we go into this new week looking at the world different, looking at our families different, looking at ourselves different. Let us see what you see. Thank you, God, so much for everything you've given us. In Jesus' name, amen. Do you want to know how I get the fog off my window? That gets the fog off my window. And sometimes it's the last thing that you want to do. But talking to God, you can tell him anything. You can sit and talk to him just like you're talking to a friend. It doesn't have to be proper. It doesn't have to be anything. except you talking. Prayer defrost. You've been crying over Frankfurt. If I can just say, for me, it helps that he was happy. At the vet's, he had pain medicine, and he wasn't in pain. Her little girls played with him, petted him. He followed the vet around the shop, and she's been there working. She was there the whole time. He would follow her all day. He had a few hours there on the farm till we got him to the vet where he did hurt. But that was it. Other than that, he didn't know pain. He just knew love and happiness. And that's what I have to focus on. He wasn't here long, but he was so happy. I love you all so much. I was looking at your comments. It's easy to get lost, Tina. Tina Winston. We all get lost. I mean, a lot of times for me, it really takes getting smacked with the big stuff to realize I've wandered off. And just don't ever be afraid to come back. Don't ever feel like you're not good enough, or like you've got to change something first, or like God's mad at you for wandering away. You just think of me with the sheep. How much I just want them to come to me. It doesn't matter what they've done, how they've acted. I just want to love them. God is so much better at that than me. Just don't ever feel like he's mad at you. He's not mad. He wants a relationship with you. Frankfurt was so loved. Yes, a short, happy life is better than a long, miserable one. He doesn't know his life was short. I love y'all. Your surgery's gonna be great, Shelby. You're gonna feel so much better after you heal. I know it's scary, but God's already there. He's already there. First 3 days, 3-day hump. You gotta get over the 3-day hump. Anybody can do 3 days. Tell yourself that while you're going through it. If it's rough, 3 days and I'm gonna be feeling better than this. You got this. I will let her know, Cassie. Thank you. Okay, I have got to go jump in the shower. I don't want to stink her house up like sheep and cows. And go babysit my mother-in-law. I love you guys so much. This, since it won't still be running, people won't be able to rewind, but it should go ahead and post pretty quickly. Within 30 minutes, I would think. And then if someone comes in, you can direct them to go watch it. Okay. Y'all have the best day. I love y'all so much. I gotta figure out how to turn it off. It's always a challenge. Maybe just the X. We'll try it.